Minecraft Redstone often seems rather daunting. What the hell is quasi-connectivity? What the hell is this? Don't worry, I will briefly explain what QC is. However, the purpose of this video isn't to teach you about Redstone. It's to discuss whether Redstone is actually difficult to learn. When you first start learning Redstone, it's definitely an obstacle you need to overcome. There's a lot to learn and understand, which seems to put many Minecraft players off from learning Redstone because they think it's too hard. They think, I can't learn this, I don't know what any of these terminologies are or how to build these complex contraptions. That kind of mindset is exactly what stops you from learning Redstone, which in my opinion is a fundamental part of Minecraft and everyone should at least dabble or understand the basics of Redstone. Instead of being in that negative mindset, think of it like any problem in the game. For example, here we have a basic house with a flat wall. So how do we improve this? Start by adding in some detail or a bit of depth, or mix up the color palette, and already there's an improvement. Do you know what else is an improvement? Hitting that subscribe button. It's free and you can always unsubscribe later. Okay, but building has nothing to do with Redstone. Well, yes, the point I'm making is that many think it's easier to tackle a building problem than a redstone problem, but it genuinely isn't, because it's all about your mindset and how determined you are to fix that problem. Here's a recent example I can think of. Grian in Hermitcraft Season 10 was building a mushroom farm, and he ran into a couple of issues. Instead of giving up on the project, he decided to tackle the issue despite knowing very little about redstone. And guess what? He managed to find the solution by simply messing around with the game, which is exactly what you do with building. You mess around with some blocks until something works. Grian also built this little redstone farm with the correct mindset. He didn't just mindlessly copy the tutorial block for block. He decided to learn what each part actually did and tried his best to understand what was actually going on. And for someone who is known for generally being bad at redstone, he did a great job.
What I'm getting at is, I am a redstone king. I see no god up here except me. This is how it feels to master redstone. I am a god.
And from this single project, he exponentially increased his skill. And you can do the same thing. Redstone isn't as complex as many make it out to be. Really, all it is are smaller parts put together to make something bigger. And honestly, piston doors are a great starting point when you want to learn redstone, because you have extremely simple piston doors, like this 2x2 piston door, which is literally just 4 pistons, some blocks, redstone dust on top with a torch, then a couple of buttons, and you're done. Now maybe might be a good time to explain QC. The reason this piston door works is because the piston is bud powering the piston below. When pistons were first added into Minecraft, they got mixed up with the door coding, so pistons seem to think they're 2 blocks tall, which is why stuff like this is possible. QC is incredibly important when it comes to redstone, because it's how most piston doors on redstone contraptions are possible in Java Minecraft. So understanding how this works and why it works will help you tremendously. And if I've explained anything incorrectly, any professional redstoners, please feel free to correct me, as I am no professional by any means.
But Monocle, redstone isn't accessible enough, so it is hard.
No. Granted, Mojang could do a better job at introducing players to redstone, but let's just ignore that. Instead, pay attention to YouTube. There are literally thousands of tutorials on YouTube for every redstone contraption you will probably ever need, and there are so many tutorials that can teach you about redstone components. For example, we have this series here that teaches you about logical redstone by MapBatWings, and it is honestly one of the most comprehensive tutorials I've ever seen on YouTube. Or another example, Mumbo. He has countless of videos teaching you about so many different redstone things. And honestly, just watching a redstone video and just watching someone mess around with redstone is a great way to learn.
But Monocle, what if I want a working toilet in Minecraft?